You know the story. Neo, otherwise known as the One, is destined for greatness in the Matrix computer-generated reality. He eventually frees the world from techno-slavery, but he certainly makes a few mistakes along the way. From seemingly minor missteps to world-ending decisions, here are some of Neo's biggest no-nos. In the first installment of the trilogy, the agents offer Neo a deal. If he cooperates and gives up Morpheus, they'll let him go back to his regular life and wipe the slate clean.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like a really good deal.
In response, Neo gruffly asks Agent Smith for his phone call. Well, the agents don't take too kindly to his uppity attitude. They seal his mouth shut with his own skin and proceed to insert a truly horrific device into his belly button. Hey, it can happen to the best of us. Of course, Mr. Anderson, otherwise known as Neo, really is living in a simulation, but he doesn't know it quite yet. Being rude to the agents was a mistake, particularly since he had no idea what he was really up against. Beyond that, his bad attitude might have made the agents do something even more drastic. Sure, Neo was the hero of the story, which means there's no movie franchise without him, but he doesn't know that, does he? One of the most complicated aspects of The Matrix is the fact that everything Neo does has already been predetermined. That means no matter what movie makes, his path has already been mapped out, and free will is nothing but an illusion. Something like that, anyway. And things only get more complicated when you stop to consider Neo's existence as the One. As you no doubt recall, Neo is eventually killed by Agent Smith, but his death basically needs to happen in order for Neo to ultimately become the One. He dies, then triumphantly comes back to life, ready to embrace his lofty destiny. It becomes clear Neo has evolved when he manages to successfully stop bullets with his mind and comes to see the world in code. Oh, and at one point, he manages to jump inside Agent Smith and explode him. Cool trick, but something of a mistake. We eventually learn that this act sets Agent Smith free, making him a lethal computer virus that can multiply. Now Agent Smith is able to take over the entire Matrix.
It is purpose that created us. Purpose that connects us. Purpose that pulls us, that guides us, that drives us.
Smith could have easily destroyed everything, and all because Neo decided to be a show-off and blow him up. The Matrix series becomes truly confusing when, out of nowhere, Neo finds himself at Mobil Avenue. It's a strange virtual land controlled by the Train Man, who works for the older program called the Merovingian. While the first movie managed to create a world that was controlled by computer simulation, the sequels changed the rules of the game. They add perplexing new variables and otherwise scramble everything we thought we knew about the world of the Matrix.
What are you doing here? You do not belong here.
Kamala, goodness, I apologize.
Take Mobil Ave, for example. Basically, Neo is in limbo. Mobil is, in fact, an anagram of the word limbo. The place is evidently some odd hinterland between the Matrix and Zion. The fact that Neo followed his own path apparently confused the system so much that he suddenly found himself in a very peculiar place. He's lucky he was able to make his way out of Mobil Ave, but it's just that, total luck. Like so many of the other parts of Neo's story, ending up in Mobil Ave could have easily led to his destruction. If Neo doesn't take the red pill, then the end credits roll early and there is no Matrix trilogy. That said, his reasoning for following the White Rabbit via the red pill is, well, there isn't much of a thought process behind the decision, is there? Without thinking, he heeds the advice of his hacked computer. The computer tells him to follow the White Rabbit, and then he sees the goth raver's tattoo of a white rabbit and proceeds to follow her. This leads him to Trinity. By then, there's really no turning back. Neo is clearly intrigued by these people, and quite frankly, he hates his current life. That's presumably why he takes the red pill once Morpheus offers it to him.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
But if Neo had taken the blue pill, he could have returned to his life of blissful ignorance. Taking the red pill means learning just how corrupt the world is and how little power he has, which is, of course, necessary for him to learn and become a hero. Although it's admirable that he took the red pill, he basically makes the decision on a whim. At the end of the day, Neo comes across as rather naive, leaving us to wonder why he's so eager to trust this Morpheus character. Remember when Neo chooses the door that leads to Trinity in an effort to save her? And he makes the decision despite the fact that the architect says choosing that door will lead to humans becoming extinct, including Trinity. Sure, Neo makes his choice, but that choice nearly dooms the whole human race. Neo, we learn, is actually the sixth one, but his willingness to sacrifice everything for love makes him different from his predecessors. This leaves the future of the Matrix in doubt, and it means Neo is a rogue program. After all, Neo is expected to open the door that stabilizes the system, but when he decides to open the door that saves Trinity, he goes totally off script. The move is heroic, romantic, and ultimately the right thing to do, but you can't help but balk at Neo's choice. It's a very bold move on the best of days.
You haven't answered my question. Quite right. Interesting.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.